So it seems a trilogy isn't enough to cover the nightmare that producing these has been. Welcome back to the Mallet series. The only thing we need to figure out still is the coin in the top. We got the head turned, we got the handle turned and all that, but we've got this big old gaping slot here that is going to be what we use to brand the mallets and is currently the way in which we mount the handle to sand it and everything. Before I show you the coin setup, we have made a few changes to the wood turning room as well. So let's have a look in there. And I've got this new adapter that I made as well.
That's precious, isn't it?
It's like knurled and everything. Maybe I'll show you. So first, I've got a camera jig on the wall. This is the Woby jig, designed by Woby Design in Los Angeles. It works very cool. It's just all like templates and stuff that you print out, cut out, bolt together, done. And it's what I can use to get all these fancy angles for the lathe. And rip out the light.
I was going to say, yeah.
Also, you might remember I had some issues with the plywood jaws that I was using to make the leadwood heads for these mallets. We have since taken all the learnings from producing the first lot and made much better versions. So these were all mounted and then drilled with a hole saw on the lathe, which was terrifying, sorry. It wasn't terrible. Large head, small head, and that's pretty much it, to be honest. Oh yes, router jig. Router jig is now on the wall, and I've added a little knob to it from a
little knob.
Sorry, I think I hit the mic there, but yeah, just a little knob to make it a bit more controllable. And yeah, it hangs up below the knob. Maybe I want a bit of tape to deflect the chippings.
I mean, that's probably the weakest improvement, but if it does the job,
nonetheless.
well, exactly.
So the other thing we've got is a shit ton of wood that is all prepped and ready to go. The only problem with this is that when I've been drilling these holes, to start with, I'm waiting on a counter bore. So it's going to be a 8mm drill with a 20mm diameter counter bore around it. So basically I can do these in one hit rather than do the small one then the big one, or the big one then the small one. So I'm waiting on that. I'll preface this by saying that. But because I'm doing them in two parts at the moment, what I realised yesterday is that my 20mm force bit had a tiny burr on the outside. And so what it's done is it's made these holes 20.5mm rather than 20. So I'll show you a fix I've made for that in a minute. But this is the improvement we've also made for mounting it on the lathe. Before, I was using...
I bet you lost it.
I was using it, I don't know where it is. It's just, you might have seen it, but now it's this chunky thing that now locates in there and round the 20mm bit that's now 20.5mm because these holes are too big. I'm going to make another one. Nice. And it literally just goes... Oh, I need to move the headstock back. But it would just locate there and, yeah, locks beautifully on the spindle.
Bit more robust than what we had before.
Bit more robust, and because the other one, it didn't have this central locating thing either. It literally just located on the outside here. So.
Yeah, with a bit of plywood as well, which
with a bit of plywood.
Exactly ideal, because over time that was kind of wearing away, it seemed.
Yeah. Well, and we now know that these holes are not 20 exactly.
Which explained why I had so much difficulty getting a...
Getting a central.
Yes.
That's an example of one that wasn't... It's not quite...
To be fair, that one's not too bad in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, we could make it much better.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's pretty much where we're at with these. We have also got a bunch of curly ash in stock as well. You can't quite... Well,
yeah, you can.
You can see it. It's nice. So ash is like perfect for mallet handles because it's hard wearing, it's shock resistant, so you're not going to get as much like just vibration when you're using the mallet. So if I can get that to work, because it's right on the limit in terms of thickness, if I can get it to work, then we'll use that as well. But for now, olive wood seems to be working. We just haven't been able to test it at really long term, whereas ash I'm completely confident in. Do you have a look at the coin setup?
I reckon so.
Yeah. Right.
There's a lot to talk about here.
Yes. Let's start at the back, because you can see all of the mallets at their current stage. There are a few that have been taken away because we had to do some hardcore testing.
Oh yes, we got spice in that video. What are you doing?
Testing one of our mallets.
Oh, oh shit. What's that workbench done to you? Oh!
There we go.
And that's why we test. Bloody hell.
Basically, we were seeing how strong the short grain ones were to see what sort of abuse they can get. And it did eventually go.
Yeah, let's highlight the abuse.
Wow.
You began on this corner.
So we did that. A few hits.
Bertha got some dents.
Then we came over here. Then we started hitting this corner.
Yeah.
And then we thought, oh, wait, we should probably film this. So then I started hitting this corner.
And at which point,
it broke. So even with short grain on the handles, it was, and that's pretty bad short grain as well. I mean, like, look at where that split. It's just, that's such a small amount of surface area.
and I think what you're sort of forgetting to highlight there is you were going crazy with it and using it in the most wrong ways possible. That sounds weird.
Yeah.
To violently destroy it. Just out of curiosity.
And also, we were working with a head that has small, like, case hardening on it as well, which is what these tiny splits are here. I wanted to see if those would break as well. I have got a few other leadwood mallets that, like, in the past and stuff that have had this, and I've never had issues with case hardening. With it, like, splitting, it's just a visual thing, but yeah, it was interesting to know the short grain went before that.
Speaking of visual though, on that, there isn't a single, try to grab it for a camera, there isn't a single mark to be seen.
No.
From all that wood hitting. Yeah, it's a bit shinier than it was before.
Yeah.
But there are no dents, nothing.
No, I mean, I reckon.
Oh, I've given away something.
I reckon you could probably get that with just this. So this is just some very, like, I think that's 360 grit.
Smooth.
It's back.
Yeah.
Not a single. And that stuff, it's soft, but it was twatting Bertha.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that you were doing it on Bertha to begin with, what is this crazy person?
Yeah.
Mallet head didn't come off handle at all.
No issues there whatsoever. I see, yeah, you did get it. I thought that was the plywood one. Anyway, so...
Speaking of shiny circular things.
Yes, basically, because I figured out the holes are 20.5 millimeters in diameter, I bought a shit ton of brass and I started turning down our own coins from 20.5 millimeter stock. Well, I had to turn it to that, and then, yeah. So we're doing that. We're then getting it on a bit of sandpaper here, polishing it up loads, and getting rid of all this sort of circular scratches on it. And then taking it to this, which we are currently testing at the moment. Mixed results. There's a bit of a bedding in process with learning it and getting it all working and things, but it's doing what we want it to do, just a bit slowly, because it's not the sort of fiber laser that we need in order to do something like this that would cut it in apparently 30 seconds. This is taking about up to an hour in some cases.
Yeah, it's worth noting that we got sent this. This is a LaserPecker LP4, I believe. It's got multi-nanometer lasers built within it, so you can go between 450, I think it's 450 and something over 1,000.
Yeah.
So that you can sort of cater for woods, plastic, metal, you name it.
It's off over there.
It's off over there. Yeah. It doesn't matter for the time being. But yes, alongside it, we tell you what, we're going to do a bit more of a dedicated video to this second channel coming soon, probably going through the step-by-step process of how it's all set up and how we run it. But to give you a quick overview, you've got the main laser system in here, all neatly attached together. Got a nice case, which is orange because you don't want to look at this laser. It is bright.
It's like your eyes start doing weird things when you look at it, even through the glass, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. It's occasionally I've put 2 layers of acrylic in front of my face to try and prevent it. Then we've got a rotational thing here. We can maybe talk about that in a moment, actually.
Well, I've got a sample here, actually.
Oh, here we go.
If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen this anyway. Or actually, patrons would have seen this as well. So yeah, we're just doing some tests about just seeing whether we like it or not. Like, I don't know. Still on the fence about it. Overwhelmingly, people like it. They like the branding. But then I did see something, I don't know if you saw the thing on Patreon actually, about the person who said, like, it's about masterpieces and stuff like that.
I know, I can't remember what he said.
He said, like, imagine a scenario where there's like a really nice painting and then there's just a squiggle in the corner. It's like, why would you deface it by squiggling on it? And I'm not saying my pieces are masterpieces by any stretch.
Isn't that exactly what artists do?
Yeah, but you're sort
They literally put their signature in the bottom corner of a painting.
But then it's like, why deface it with a scribble? If it's so recognisable in itself.
But is it defacing?
Wow.
Is it enhancing?
The idea is if it's instantly recognisable as a thing without your signature, then why put the signature on it?
Because it looks fucking cool.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Look, we've seen the polls. We've seen the polls.
Yeah, I know.
So to be fair as well. So this is the dark one.
This is the dark one. Yeah.
Where's the other one?
There's one. Is it on that?
Is it on this one? Ooh.
Yeah, we lightened that one.
Yeah. Oh, I'm holding it the wrong way around. There we go. Get in focus. Yeah. So this one I feel is like a better compromise. It's nothing that's in your face, but it's a nice subtle. Who made it? Me.
Yeah, we did the same process as that, but then just put it over the satin mop real quick. I definitely prefer it.
Yeah, that one's a preference.
And there is depth to it as well, which is nice. So yeah, we're figuring out all that. But what we need to do, are we doing this in this video?
Yeah, we're doing this in this video. Yeah.
So one of the things we're really struggling with this is sort of locating the laser and like getting the piece under it and getting it the same every time. Our other laser cutter, which by the way, the difference between them, that one you have to sort of bring the wood or whatever material you're working on to the laser cutter. Whereas this one, it's a kind of portable thing. As you can see through here, like Bertha is exposed underneath. I could just engrave a big cock and balls on the bench if I wanted, or if Rob wanted. And yeah, it gives a bit of extra portability to it, while also having those extra nanometers that we can mess around with. But yeah, we're struggling with locating under it. And so we're going to make a jig in order to do so and use our other laser cutter to make that jig.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird, but because of the way it works, because the laser is coming out in different sort of directions, it seems to sometimes warp the shapes.
Yeah.
Like we're not entirely sure whose fault that is, whether it's ours or the machine's yet. So that's still to be known. But we think based on creating this template or system in which to hold the coins, we'll be able to make sure that it's millimeter accurate from the get-go.
Hopefully. We just dial it in once, and then fortunately the machine comes with like a bed on it that you can thread stuff into. So as long as we get it the same on that every time and we use the same program, should be fine.
Yeah, should be fine. Just before we do that, you got a widening thingy.
I've got a widening thingy.
What does that mean, and why does it exist?
So I said earlier that the Forstner bit, which is this one in question, had that little burr on the outside. Not only has it made them 20.5 millimeters in diameter, but it's also made them egg-shaped, really annoyingly. So I made this, which is don't know what you'd call it, a reamer of sorts, I guess. You would hold this bit in the drill. This bit here is 20.5 millimeters in diameter, and I've filed some teeth into it. Just 4 little teeth. There's also a little chamfer, so it cuts the outside and everything, but I'll basically show you how it works. That little bit on the end, this bit, locates in the hole, like so. It's nice and snug. Drill at full speed. And that has just scored away the outside a little bit.
No more egg.
No more egg. And it's perfectly, go over here to one of the coins. I mean, you can just see that is
snug.
Yeah.
Which we don't want to put in.
No, we don't want to just yet.
Yeah, still needs to be turned.
But yeah, it is like bang on.
You're well proud, aren't you?
I would. It's a great example as to how one of the many ways in which a metal lathe has saved my arse in this. Like, it is so useful to have. But yeah, anyway, let's make the jig.
Would you look at that? Where are we up to?
So, bits of laser cap. Got the grid, which lines up perfectly with this.
And that's the base plate for the laser.
Yes, and the reason we're making this is because this one is threaded, and we don't want, if we're attaching things like this to it, we don't want to have to thread them in every time. We just want to be able to slot them in with pins. So this attaches to the base with threads. These little ones got supplied with it. I mean, I machined these up myself. Look at that knurling.
No, they're too perfect.
Yeah. And you can see we've got some lines on here for various things radiating out from the center. Basically what I did is, this isn't going to work great because these aren't 20 mil, but I did two lines. One of them is on 20 mil, and then the outside one is 21 mil, I think. So when you put your 20 millimeter object on it, you can still see the line around the outside of it, rather than cover it and then not know where you are. I just like having two, and that's basically what's happening with this square as well. When it goes on, it lands perfectly on that middle one, but you still see the offset around it, so you can kind of verify things. So those are all tightened up. And then I machined up these little pins. I mean, these came supplied with it. That's why they're so rubbish. And so this first one is basically just our laser alignment thing. So we're going to use this to figure out basically where the laser is casting on the bed below. And we're going to get it to line up with that square perfectly. Once we do, we take this out, we replace it with one of these, which fits the coin perfectly, locate it in the corners in exactly the same way as before, and we can get everything aligned without engraving coins. We can just do it all with this thing.
Yeah, it'll make a lot more sense once you see this inside there, because you're thinking probably right now, well, surely you're just locating this in the exact same position that was in the first place. Well, difference is that laser moves based on digital parameters that we set on there.
Yeah.
So it's only once we've set those to the square that we can actually ensure that the circle is then going to be in the right place. And the reason that we're choosing a square is that the parameters, when you turn on the preview option from the software, it comes out in a square. You don't get much choice on that.
Yeah.
And therefore we can align it perfectly.
Yep.
Just like that. Should we give it a go?
Let's give it a crack.
So on the software, that needed to be landscape for a reason. Don't know why.
Leave me alone.
He doesn't know why.
So we'll do that. Width 20, height 20. Here's the two laser powers. Beep, beep, beep. Preview. Right, there we go. So, oh, look, not far off.
Oh, it's blinding. I can't see. Shut the door. No, it's not far off at all. Yeah, it needs to come down a little bit more towards me. The bottom line is pretty much on it, maybe by 0.5 mil.
Yeah.
The top line is off it, probably by 1 mil. There you go, that's it.
70.
That's spot on. And that's why it needed that base plate.
Yeah.
Because it's just that difficult to make sure it's perfect. Of course, if you were doing a larger object, I think some of the things that they advertise with this is, say, putting a mug through this, because you'd attach it to the rotational accessory here. That wouldn't matter so much about exact precision, obviously so long as things are level. Whereas when we're going for something so small inside a diameter of that size, anything that's off looks really obviously off. And I don't know where the previous attempt coins went. Any ideas, Matt?
They're in the top of the mallets, aren't they?
Oh, there. I don't know which mallets they are then. Was it these ones? Oh, there's one.
Yep.
That's a cool one.
On there. Oh, it's that one as
No,
well.
that was the bad one. So this was one of the original tests where we discovered how not only is it off center, but it creates like a bit of an oval shape because it was away from the central point of the laser coming down. The laser up there, because it's on a conveyor belt system, it's always a perfectly perpendicular laser to the material that it's working with. This one can actually go out at angles to engrave or cut the object that you're working with, which is really cool. Apart from it seems to be a little bit warped occasionally. Where's it gone? There we go. At certain angles. Again, maybe that's us. Maybe that's us getting the settings wrong at some point. But at least with this, we ensure that it's foolproof, and it definitely needs to be when it's us trying to run it. Okay, so we're just gonna trust that it's gonna work. It seems a little bit weird that the lasers are still off, even though we've done all the alignment stuff. So we're just gonna whack in this lovely coin here.
I polished it.
You did polish it. Well done, you.
Change the base plate, aren't we?
Yeah, I think I need your hand because I can't do this one-handed.
Oh, okay.
In.
It's just, there you go, do things properly.
Safety.
Right, 20.5, take our pins out, corner, in. Beautiful.
Nice. Magic. Done.
Wow.
I didn't want to force it just in case. I looked through the screen and everything is warped.
I do actually need to probably just take a little bit of the burr off the bottom of that.
Oh, you made another poor coin, did you?
No.
You did.
You're a bodge job.
Is that level?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? So if I put the camera down to the level of it...
Yeah.
No, that'll do.
Level enough, innit?
Cool. Ready to go when you're... It's off center. I can tell from here. That's really off center as well.
Yep.
Damn it. I'm not sure we've said it yet. But basically everything you're seeing now is prototyping.
Right. Calipers. As you said though, it looks like it's like bottom left, isn't it?
Yeah. We'll be back when we've actually made some progress. Okay, so we've run another test. We've done a sort of a much quicker one. Where did it end up? Is it over here somewhere?
I don't know. There you go.
It's already lost it. Nope, that's the old one. Is it? Yes, it is. Yeah, that's well off.
That one.
That one. You mixed it with all the others.
No.
Yeah, right. Here we go. So, it is looking damn close if I compare it to this one. This one we ran at a much lower resolution. This is 1K versus 4K. But you can see how far off central the 4K was. So what Matt did was basically measure the perimeter, the gaps, and attempt to compensate for it on the software, which led us to this one. And it's close. So we've tried to tweak it again because I think we see a bit more room on that top half than the bottom.
0.1 of a mil, we've moved it up.
0.1 of a mil. And fingers crossed, we then get it aligned, which you might think, why are you bothering to do all this? Because you're just gonna have to do it every time. No, thankfully, because we got the jig, everything's gonna remain secure. Plus, we can note down the parameters and or save the program, and we should be okay.
Providing the UI doesn't reset itself every time we return it on.
We don't think about these sort of things because we don't want to cross those bridges.
Look at our experience so far. I am very much ready for that mentally.
Right, we'll be right back once this has done the next test. Right. That's and I'm not even sure if that's all of them. I think there's a couple more dotted around. That was a bit of a nightmare.
That was a fucking nightmare, that was.
But we think we've got it to the point where we can't quite agree what it would need to improve it. There we go.
Good enough.
This is if I had the time in editing, I'm going to take a freeze frame and analyze it in a program, but someone else can do that.
Oh, weird. Yeah, I thought so. Obviously, just now before you turned the camera on, I said move it to the right a little bit, but then there was just a thing that I caught there where I said actually it needs to move to the left.
Yeah. So I because of that indecisiveness, I think we're at a point where we can say this is good enough, and we can finish these mallets. But we need some clarification because we actually haven't done that in the video yet. I might even have to add something at the start of this video as well. Explain the mallets, explain why we're defining them as prototypes, and what we're doing with the coins in the future.
So, obviously, all of these ones you've seen made in this video are the initial batch, and we're calling them prototypes because that's what they are. That's what we've been using to figure out this whole process from start to finish. So, what we're going to be doing is selling these mallets at a reduced rate as prototypes because, on the whole, they're pretty perfect. I mean, if you look at this one, there's nothing really wrong with it whatsoever.
Ignore the dust.
Ignore the dust, yeah. Apart from the fact the hole in the top is maybe slightly off center. That's about it.
Yes.
And when it comes to some of these other ones as well, I think that is pretty much the only issue we've got now. It's just...
That is the fundamental thing.
Yeah.
And we're not happy with it not being perfect.
No. So we're going to knock a shit ton off the price and sell them as prototypes. And that's also why we're doing these coins as well, because we're waiting on a supplier to make our own custom coins, which will look very similar to this.
Oh,
No.
no.
On the top of that one, maybe?
Top of this one? No, not that one.
This one. This
That
one.
one. There we go.
Looks very similar to this.
But both centered, higher quality, and a really nice darkness to it that isn't that.
Yes. So we're waiting on that, but we got a few weeks out. We got this, we got the brass. We thought, right, we'll make custom coins for these prototype ones. And then when we do the actual batch that will be sold at full price, they will come with the proper coins as well. So
Assuming they fit.
assuming they fit. Let's not talk about that. But basically, if you wanted to get a prototype one, not only are you getting it cheaper, but you're getting one that is like undoubtedly more handmade than one that will be coming from the main batch as well. So it will be a piece of history.
It will be. We're going to number them.
Yeah, we're going to number them.
You're going to know exactly which one you've got.
Yeah, there'll be a surcharge for 69.
No, Matt's already dibs that one. He's not allowing that to go out there. We don't have 69 mallets, FYI, so far.
No, not yet. God forbid.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was an experience. It's obviously we've had 3 parts to the trilogy, which was an epic to begin with. And who knew that the coin would take quite that long? It's not even that coin. That looks nice, though.
That
is it? Oh, that is the coin.
Don't say that now. No, it's good enough. Leave my coin alone.
No, I thought that was the one that had the black middle. And genuinely, I saw it on the phone and thought, bloody hell, that looks good.
Oh, thank God.
Who knew it would take that long to get that right? But I'm just glad that this was able to cut metal.
Yes.
That was the fundamental concern, wasn't it?
That was. Good.
Yes.
Right. Woo. So, I guess below this video we'll have some sort of sign-up page or something, or maybe a buy button.
There might even be a buy button by the time this gets out there.
All the details will be below. Thank you for sticking around for this quadrilogy. If you buy a mallet, I hope you enjoy it. Send us any questions if you have any, but obviously you will need to be quick because there is a finite number, because these are the only ones we didn't fuck up.
Now, it's worth just chiming in here that Matt went ahead and laser cut every single coin to finish off these mallets. And my God, do they look good. Yes, they might be prototypes. Yes, they might have a few little things that we want to improve over time. But overall, we're so happy with what we've come up with. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Thank God for that. Oh, right. Buy my mallets, please.
How you doing, Matt?
Damn it. I hate how quick iPhones are.
Did you just happen to lose all the coins over the edge?
No, I did not.
How you doing down there?
Yeah, doing great, mate.
You really happy with yourself?
Yeah, I think that's all of them.
Yeah.
I picked up the oh, fuck.